Welcome to your SPCN channel. Again, I am welcome you all to join with me to look forward the lesson of nationalism in Europe. Actually, almost the maximum part of the lesson have done. Only two side readings are remaining. The two side readings are visualizing the nation and the nationalism and imperialism. Please join with me. Please, we have to get into the lesson. Visualizing the nation. Visualizing the nation is nothing. Actually, in those times, the artists who compare the country with the female picturization, they compare the country with the human being. They weren't compare the country with the male picturization. They compare the country with the female picturization. Through the female statue only, they share everything to the people, like justice idea, like liberty idea, like republic idea, all kinds of idea have been exposed to the people, have been shared with the people only with the picturization of female. For example, during the French Revolution, only, there have an idea of liberty, justice and republic. These ideas, this liberty, justice, republic ideas, these ideas have been shared with the people of France through the picturization of female. As you already know regarding the liberty statue. How does the liberty statue look like? What are the speciality of the liberty statue? How does it look? How does it look? Yeah, it has a red cap and it has a broken chain and even it has a weighing scale and blindfolded and the eyes are covered with a cloth that we seen. Do you remember? Do you know that? Yes, obviously that liberty statue is covered with a red cap or broken chain and even weighing scale and blindfolded. Do you think that liberty statue is a male? No, it's a female statue. The liberty, I share the idea of liberty, republic and even the justice. All the ideas have been shared with the people of the country only through the female statue or only with the female portrait or female picturization. And next thing will be in France. Not only that, in France. In France, they portray the women whose name was Christian Marion. Christian Marion was a woman whose picture have been inscribed on coin, on scale, on all the squares of public places. Square mean on the roadside, on the wall, all the public places it has a picture of Christian Marion. So Christian Marion was a woman whose picture or whose portrait have been inscribed on coin, symbol and even in all the public places. What does it show? What does it share? What was the purpose which used by the government? What is the purpose which used by the government of France? Yeah, this Christian Marion was a woman whose picture was inscribed for the purpose to share the liberty, share about justice and share about republic. All these ideas have been shared in France only through the picturization of the woman whose name Christian Marion. And when this women picture have been used by the France country, meanwhile Germans use the women with the oak leaves. German use the women with the oak leaves. You heard about the oak tree, that oak leaves. Oak referred to heroism. Oak referred to heroism. And Christian Marian picture is already given in your book. If you don't know how it's look like, just refer the book once. So, visualizing the nation, the poet or the artist who describe the country as a female picture, as a human being, and especially they compare the country with a female picturization. In France, they use the picture of Christian Marian in all the coins and in all the symbols and in all the public places, and they share the ideas about liberty, justice, and even the republic. And even German people, they use the women picturization with the Vogue name, and Vogue refer to heroism. These are the information only which providing under the side reading of Visualizing the Nation. Then we have to switch over to the next title or next side reading. The side reading is Nationalism and Imperialism. Nationalism, imperialism. Before getting to that particular side reading, I want to let you know what do you mean by nationalism and what do you mean by imperialism. You already know what do you mean by nationalism. It was quite common and we already had discussed in the previous session, previous class. In the beginning of the class itself, I told you what is nationalism. Nationalism is nothing. If anyone loves his or her country, they want to do something for the sake of the goodness of the country and people. That is what the nationalism. Like you can compare that nationalism with the patriotism somewhat. But this imperialism is totally different from the word of nationalism. Imperialism means when we want to dominate others, when we want to show our superiority over other country. That is what imperialism. For example, Britain done that imperialism over Africa and even over India. That is what imperialism. So in this side reading, what are the information? One more time I want to let you know, imperialism is nothing when we want to try to control other country, when we want to subordinate other country under our control. That is what the imperialism. So here at the end of the 18th century, there was no nationalism. Actually, they are loving their country, but they are not cooperated with each other. For doing the nationalism, we should be cooperated with each other. Am I right or wrong? Yes, I am right. If you want to show our nationalism against the government or against any other country or against anyone, we should be cooperated. But at the rate of 18th century, at the end of 18th century, there was no nationalism. The nationalist. Who were the nationalists? The people who follow the nationalist idea or the people who follow the nationalism, they were the nationalists. So the nationalists who were intolerant, they were not ready to adjust with anyone, they were not ready to adjust with the ideas of any other country, they want to do the war also. Actually, as a true nationalist, they want to, they should save the country. When they do something against the country, that wasn't called as a nationalism. So this nationalist people who were intolerant, they are ready to do the war and they are fighting with themselves. Once upon a time they were together, but as of end of 18th century, they were fought with themselves. They fought among themselves. And the nationalist feeling, important nationalist feeling or important problem was occurred in the year 1871 in Balkan country or Balkan territory. Nationalist problem was occurred. Occurred in 1871 in Balkan. Actually, Balkan was a territory which comprised with many places. Actually, we couldn't say this particular place is what referred as a Balkan country. This particular place was what referred as a Balkan country. It comprised, it consolidated, it accompanied with many other countries. Like Herzegovina. Herzegovina, Serbia, Romania, Croatia, Bulgaria. Many territories were there. Like some places only which I written in a board, that Herzegovina, Serbia, Romania, Croatia, Bulgaria. These were the part and parcel of Balkan country, and they fought among them. Actually, it was a part and parcel of Ottoman Empire. It was a part and parcel of Ottoman Empire. They fight among themselves for freedom. They want to detach from that country. They want to be dragged themselves from the control of the Ottoman Empire. Each and every country which were under the Balkan, no, they want to get freedom. So they involve in a war. They fight against the government. And not only that, when we are not together, when we are not united, no, other country will be involved in our matter, and other country will take it as an advantage and take our control under its control. Have you understood? Actually, when we are not united, some other people will involve in our problem. Just like that, when this country people fighting with themselves for freedom, at the same time, many powerful countries who try to occupy the Balkan country. For example, Russia, Britain, Austro-Hungary, Germany. If we are together, if we are united, no one can involve in our problem, or no one can raise question from us. But when they are fighting themselves, the powerful countries of Russia, Britain, Austro-Hungary, and even Germany, these countries want to control over Balkan territory. And the Balkan people were not united, which means they want to capture many places within that country itself. In Balkan territory also they have many other countries. They want to capture one by one places, and they want to show their dominance over other countries. This problem were existed among themselves. Let's see in the year, and not only that, when Russia, Britain, Austro-Hungary, Germany involved in the matters of Balkan, that led to the First World War. Can you let me know when was the First World War? First World War was in the year 1914 to 1918. 1914 to 1918. So when these countries involved in the Balkan territory, that led to the First World War. And not only that, in 1914, nationalism was there along with the imperialism in 1914. When nationalism also there, but that nationalism was existed along with the principle of imperialism, and that imperialism was that when these things were occurred, that country people want to get freedom. They actually, when imperialistic ideas were existed in those countries, that country people who fought against the government, and they try to get independent. They would try to get a dominion rule. What is the dominion rule? Dominion rule means they don't want to be under the control of any other country. They want to rule themselves. They want to form a separate government. So, nationalism was there along with imperialism in the year 1914. And that imperialism totally eradicated. That imperialism was totally eradicated when the countries got independent one by one. First, many countries got independent, like even America, even Africa, even India, each and every country got independent from the control of the Europeans one by one, when that countries got independent from the hands of the imperialistic ideas or from the hands of the European, by the way, that make a name for imperialism. That eradicated imperialism. What do you mean eradicated? Eradicated means it erase. Eradicated means erase. It erased the ideas of imperialism when the countries got independent one by one. So these were the information which had given under nationalism and imperialism. So at the end of the 18th century, at the end of the 18th century, there were no nationalist ideas, and in 1871, biggest trouble was occurring. Balkan country was a part and parcel of Ottoman Empire. That Ottoman Empire comprised with many other countries like Herzegovina, Serbia, Romania, Bulgaria, and even Austro-Hungary. These were some places which included with the Balkan territory. The Balkan territory fought with themselves, and when they fought with themselves for the cause of freedom, you should know why they fought among themselves. They not fight among themselves for a rice or for a product to eat. They demanded the freedom from the hands of the Ottoman Empire. That's what they involved in a freedom struggle. They involved in the fight. And not only that, when this problem was occurred within Balkan territory, the powerful countries of Russia, Britain, and even Austro-Hungary and Germany. These were the countries who involved in that problem. So, by the way, the imperialism which destroyed the country from the year of 1914, and finally when the countries got independent one by one, by the way, the imperialism got eradicated. The imperialism was eradicated. So, please everyone take a notes over this, and please go through the book once. Then only you should know what I'm telling to you. Otherwise, definitely you can understood, but you couldn't memorize those information. So once go to the book. This is the advice goes to the children. And please share, subscribe, and do the support. And one more thing. So this lesson is over. Next, I want to take a lesson from the civics portion. The first lesson which is there in that particular section is sharing of power. Sharing of power means how does the government share the power with legislative, executive, and judiciary, and that all this information only we are going to looking forward in the next class. I hope everyone understood. Keep support. Thank you.